Hey guys, ain't no zero. I got a question. I got a question from a guy, a new friend. Named Mike. He's got a Not As It Seems as his YouTube channel, but he spells it all messed up with a bunch of letters and, and stuff like that. But he asked me how, in a nutshell, I've decided I need to start prepping. How do I go? How do I start? What do I do to, begin? How do I begin the process of prepping? Well, and like I say, I'm by no means an expert on anything. Anything that I tell you here in this video is going to be strictly my opinion, which is very humble. First thing that I would do is I would look at my location that I'm at, and I would ask myself, am I going to, if something was to happen, am I going to bug out, or am I going to stay put? Am I bugging in, or am I bugging out? Because it makes a difference on the gear and the stuff that you're going to need. If you're going to bug out, then you need to get your bug out bag and get it equipped and get it stocked. And you're not going to be able to, if you're planning on bugging out, but yet you can a whole bunch of jars of food, that doesn't really make any sense, because whenever you bug out, you're going to be leaving all your stuff behind. So you're going to have to take stuff with you that you can sustain yourself with along the way. And if you're going to bug out, where are you going to bug out to? You need to have, this stuff needs to be thought about. Okay, I'm bugging out and I'm going to my uncle's house. Okay, and that's 45 miles away. I'm probably not going to be able to drive. If I can drive, great. If not, I need to be prepared to make the trip on foot. So I'm going to have a way to, secure water and have some food. You can take some dehydrated stuff with you, but remember, for every bit of dehydrated food that you take with you, you're going to have to take water with you, or be able to procure water for that dehydrated food. And you're going to have a way to, if it's a longer trip, then you're going to need to, have some snare wires or some bank line and those kinds of things with you, tools to where you can catch food, water filtration systems that you can, use to drink water, make fire, have shelter, because those are the three basic needs. Everybody needs water, everybody needs food, and everybody needs shelter. And so if you're bugging out, that's a whole nother set of gear than if you were say you're like me, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm bugged out, and I'm already out in the country. I'm out in the hills. So if I bug out, where I'm going to go? I'm going to bug out and leave town? No, I don't even like going to town now when things are quote-unquote normal. So, but that's the first thing that I would ask myself. I would look where I'm at, and I would say, okay, if something happens, am I going to stay here, or am I going to leave? Because if I leave, then I need a whole other set of gear. If I stay put, if you're going to stay put like me, find a place, even if you don't have a big yard, if you don't have a big area, find a place where you can grow a couple of plants. Get yourself, some canning jars and a canner, water bath canner or pressure canner, and learn how to start preserving food. Learn how to start storing and preserving, water, dehydrating stuff. If you have a good source of water right there close to you, then you can save a lot of room and a lot of weight by dehydrating and vacuum sealing things, making, in effect, your own homemade MREs. So those are the kinds of things that I would look at as far as how to. Very first thing that I ask is, what am I going to do? If something happens, what will I do? Will I leave or will I stay? Because that determines what you need to what you need to have. Because there's bazillions of videos. Once you make a decision on what it is that you want to do, if an SHTS situation comes along, you say, okay, well, I'm decided I'm going to bug out. But then you need to start looking and researching what folks pack in their bug out bags and how they use it. There's a million videos, really good information out there on what bug out bags are, what you put in them. And then there's also a lot of videos like from my channel, which is homesteaders and stuff like that, to where we're staying put, we're not going anywhere, And this is the kind of stuff that we have. We garden, we hunt, we fish. I just built a smokehouse, another way to preserve meat. Raising animals, those kind of things. And if you're gonna, even if you live in suburbia, a lot of guys, are putting really, really good videos out there. They're not going to bug out. They live in town. They live in the city. They live in the suburbs. They're not going to bug out. They're growing their backyard gardens. They got a couple of rabbit cages in the backyard. They're raising rabbits. They're doing what they do, and it's that's everybody's own personal situation. Everything is completely different. There's no one right way or wrong way to prep. I mean, it's everybody's personal individual situation. And I would first start by asking yourself your situation. Am I going to go or am I going to stay? Do I have kids? Do I have, like in my case, my wife who's handicapped? You're going to have to make provisions for all of that. So that's kind of my thoughts on the very first question that I think people need to ask themselves if something comes down the line, whenever they begin preparing for something in their future. They need to ask themselves, am I going to stay? Am I going to go? If they stay, like I say, there's a lot of YouTube channels, a lot of really good information out there on canning and gardening. There's a lot of great channels. There's a lot of great channels. A lot of good information. Bug out bags, man, they're everywhere. A lot of people got a lot of good information, a lot of good reviews on their bags, what they carry with them, how to use the equipment that's there, whether it works, whether it doesn't work. I don't have a bug out bag. I have a going to town bag, but it's not nowhere near what somebody would need if they were going to bug out and they had a long journey in front of them. So like I say, guys, this is my opinion. I think that's the very first question that needs to be asked. And then once you determine what you're going to do, once you've got a good idea of what you plan for you and your family, then go from there. And then if this doesn't help you, if you make your decision and you need some more, you want some more of my thoughts and my opinion on the matter, because like I say, this is all opinion. Nobody's an expert, if you ask me. I mean, I can't tell you how to prepare for your family. I don't know, I don't know your situation. I don't know your geographic location. I know mine, but if you don't live right down the road from me, then I don't know what your area is like. So anyway, Mike, I hope this helps. Like I say, feel free to contact me if you have any more questions. Either way, even if you maybe want to prepare for a short term, I would at least, if you have the ability when you're at the grocery store, to start picking up extra things, extra easy things. Rice, beans, of course you hear rice and beans all the time. Ramen noodles, they're easily prepared. Things of that, things that have a long shelf life, cans of Spam, cans of meat, and some kind of meat, if you don't have the ability to can it yourself, and stock up on the basics. Water is very important. Food is very important, and shelter is very important. Those are the three things. And then once you have those on the way, so to speak, you have some food set aside, you have your water situation figured out, and your shelter situation figured out, then I would start looking at weapons and ammo situation first. But you can't. A lot of people start prepping. They'll go out and they'll buy some big battle rifle and a whole bunch of ammo. But you can't eat. You can't. I'm not going to say, okay, kids, get up in the morning. Let's go in the kitchen and have a breakfast. We're having a big bowl of AK-47s this morning. No, you can't. You can't eat ammo. You can't eat guns. So that's the reason why I put guns and ammunition fourth on my list, rather than up somewhere up at the top, just because of the fact that you can't eat it. Yeah, you can use it to procure food, and there's some people who plan on say, well, I'm going to just run out and live in the woods and live off the land. Okay. All those animals in the woods, well, I'll give you an example. There's roughly 30 million white-tailed deer is what I hear. Roughly 30 million white-tailed deer in the country. And there's, like 350, 400 million people in the country. Those deer and those game animals ain't going to last very long. Everybody's going to be looking for them. Anytime anybody's out and about and they see a squirrel or rabbit or deer, it's going to get shot and eaten. and they're going to go out and they're going to be gone pretty quick. So that's why if you have a way to raise your own animals, you don't have to worry about it, because you can just keep raising your animals and rearing new ones. So, like I say, I'm rambling on a little bit. I apologize about that. I hope this is a little bit of good information for y'all. If you have any more questions, or you want to hear me talk about something else, in my opinion, on another situation, then feel free to let me know, and I'll do the best I can. Like I say, I'm not an expert. This is my opinion. I thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate all your guys' views. It's just it amazes me that I have people who actually watch my videos. I just don't think that I'm that interesting of a person, but it's very flattering, and I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate people contacting me and asking me my opinion on things. It's also very flattering. So thanks, guys. Like I say, questions or comments, feel free. That's my my opinion on the very first decision you should make when you start beginning to prepare for something. The very first question you should answer is, am I going to stay or am I going to go? And then once you have that question figured out, then start deciding what kind of gear you need, and we can go from there. So, all right, guys, I got to get back after it. Have a good day. The end. Buzz, the end.